Welcome back. This is Your Town, and it truly is your town. Tune in every month, find out what's going on. I'm Monterey County Business Council's president, Marianne Leffel, and it's my pleasure to have my third guest, very dear friend and producer of the program with me, Mr. Steve Ellzey, KRML. Steve, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Marianne. This is very kind of you to have me on the program. I always look forward to the opportunity to talk to you, and now I'm talking to you on TV.
Oh my God, we'll have to watch what we say.
No, that's right.
So you've got a lot of irons in the fire. As long as I've known you, you've always been so involved both with your work and the community. KRML's been a good fit for you because it kind of blends all of that.
Absolutely. That's what I loved about the station. I swore off commercial media, never do it again, I promised. And then the opportunity came up, and here I am in the thick of it. But it really is a very unique fit. It's a community station, and they do so much in the community that it's really perfect for me. So I love it. I really do. And we've got a lot going on over at the station.
So I know that you have a program now with the Monterey Regional Airport, which of course is near and dear to my heart. And you're doing promotions for the airport, and there are so many flights and so much more usage of the airport right now. Our passenger count is way up over even last year. So it's really good. So we can't thank you enough for bringing an opportunity to be able to let people know that the airport's there, because people forget.
Yes, and it's not easy to do, but it happens. We're so used to Bay Area is where you fly out of, but I got to tell you, and it's not because I'm sitting here with you. It's because I've tried it, and it is true. I will not fly out of anywhere anymore. The price, it may be $25 more. Sometimes it's $50 less. And there's nothing like the convenience. It is so convenient. If I'm going to park there, if my wife Susie is going to drop me off, it doesn't matter. It's convenient. The TSA lines are not ridiculously long. I could go on and on forever. I sound like a commercial, but I love Monterey Airport, and we're just really stoked that they're partnering with our community radio show now. It's called Pub Talk. You've been on Pub Talk,
I have, not for a while, but it's a great way to get the word out.
And we're so thankful to you and the board and to Mike LaPierre for looking at the opportunity and for agreeing to do this for a year and see how it fits. I think it's really a perfect fit because the airport is, forgive me, it's kind of a community airport. You know, it's a regional airport. But still, you are involved in the community in several ways, and that makes it fit. I know Mike is really reaching out even more and doing more things in the community, I think, than you've ever done before. He's got the Community Day that I think he started up last year, which is just so fun.
That was wildly successful. I don't think anybody realized how many people would come out that day.
No.
And everyone had a good time. It was so nice to see the families out and children just so entranced with airlines and airport activity.
Yeah, but you had stroller gridlock at the airport. It was really something, and we were happily involved in that. I think we were broadcasting remote
live
from there, and we've got coming up in June, and I'm sure you know about this, but perhaps the viewers don't, is the Chamber, Monterey Peninsula Chamber and Salinas Chamber pre-rodeo mixer. It's a networking mixer. It's taking place at the airport. KRML will be again broadcasting live there. That's on June. I should have looked at the date before. Around the 20th or something. They can
I don't know.
go to Salinas Chamber of Commerce and look under events, and you'll find it. But it's right out there. I think it's June 21st. And boy, I should know that, man. It's next month, so. But I'll know it in time to be there. That's for sure. Going to be a great time. You know, I don't know how much bull riding we'll be doing, but it's going to be just a fabulous time. It always is when those two chambers get together. And now, especially at the airport, oh, it's fabulous.
I think it's one of the most successful chamber mixers of the year. They're usually 100, 150 people that show up to that mixer.
Yes.
And it's outside on the observation deck. We're one of the few airports that still has that type of observation deck where people can see the activity of the airport. So it's a great event. It's a great way to kind of get through that lettuce curtain and have people from one side of the county meet people from the other side of the county.
Very
and
good.
Work together. And it's great to see all those people in their hats and their boots at the airport.
Right. That's right.
Which actually, they're huge supporters of the airport. They're huge users of the airport because so many of the flights are so convenient for the agricultural business owners who have, most of them have other growing operations, not just in the Salinas Valley, but they're in Yuma, Arizona, or they're in Santa Maria, or they're down along the border of California.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite good to see how many pickup trucks are in our long-term lot on any given day. I like it. When I go through, I count the noses of all those guys, and it makes me happy. So.
Well, and now the Phoenix flights. Were we talking about the 4 times a day? Did you say
4 times a day? American has flights, direct flights to Phoenix, and from Phoenix, which is a huge hub for American Airlines, you can get anywhere. I fly maybe 5-6 times a year through there, sometimes more, but fly to Chicago or Indianapolis, Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., and it's very easy. Once you get to Phoenix, then it's a direct flight to any of those places. So it's just one quick layover and you're gone. So it's a great flight, and it's a large enough jet that it's very comfortable and can get you anywywhere. So.
And all the way up the coast, San Diego, Los Angeles,
we have direct flight to San Diego with Alaska, and I love that flight. It's inexpensive, and it's a beautiful ride for 1 hour. It's so gorgeous flying along the coast to San Diego. You actually want to keep flying just to see the scenery. The LA flight, I cannot tell you how many times a day it is, but United is in and out of Los Angeles either 4 or 5 times a day. Alaska has a flight to LA, and then United has many flights to San Francisco during the day. So we've also got Allegiant going to Las Vegas, and that's twice a week, and then during peak periods they'll put on 4 times a week. And that plane is almost full every time. It's a huge destination for the residents here in this area.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. And yes, you're right about that San Diego flight. And I really, I love flying. I love all the flights. American is fantastic. United's great. But there's something about Alaska Airlines. I think because I first flew them out of San Jose. And I don't know if San Jose was a hub or what, but they had a lot of Alaskan. And I was really impressed back then. Of course, this was when you could get an upgrade to first class for $25. So I think I'm dating myself on that one. That was like 50 years ago or something. You know, back when, cars you had to crank and stuff. So, but anyway, we're so happy, though, to be with the airport. KRML Pub Talk is the program, and our weekly program. This is our 4th year of doing it. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, and we really, actually, it is the airport and American Airlines that are sponsoring. And boy, I got to tell you, that sounds pretty uptown, and I love hearing that. Ooh, yeah, the Monterey Regional Airport and American Airlines. What a team. So we thank you. We thank the airport for that. We thank Mike Lapierre for thinking it up. But yeah, and KRML, here's another thing that working with you is so successful is KRML Cares. And I know you won't admit to it, but this was your brainchild. You told me to do something, and you gave me all the parameters. It was very easy to come up with something that was good for the community, good for the Monterey County Business Council, and good for KRML. And the MCBC Cares, KRML Cares program, I love that. Of course, I'm partial to the nonprofit world, and you know that. But to be able to utilize our resources as a television station, and my 37 years in the industry of media, to help nonprofits, a lot of times, and I've noticed this, and I'm sure you have, nonprofits are so program driven. They really want all their money to go into what they're trying to accomplish, and bless them for that. That's why they're in existence. But oftentimes, the first thing to go is the marketing budget. And they want to do more programming. They want to do hands-on things. I can't really blame them for that. But what Monterey County Business Council and the members of the council have enabled KRML to do, and we're part of it. We're giving our share, but really you facilitated this, is help these nonprofits out and give them the chance to market their message or market their events with our radio station and with our social media. And I really, really enjoy that. And you know how much I do. I'm trying not to smile too big here.
Well, it's hard. I think you and I both on several nonprofit boards. And you're right, marketing is always a tough sell because you've got programs and services you have to deliver. And oftentimes they're very people intensive. So a nonprofit's total budget goes toward its salaries, and the programs has very little left over for anything else. And so it's always kind of an interesting dichotomy of trying to work it out. Right now is budget season on every board I'm on, and I'm so sick of numbers. But you look at the fights that everybody has over how much are we going to use for advertising, how much for marketing, how much for a new website, and none of that is cheap if you do it right. But KRML, I think, really has allowed several of the nonprofits, through partnerships with the Business Council members, to be able to stretch their dollars. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I mean, were it not for you, we would have never come up with the idea. And were it not for the generous members of the Monterey County Business Council, we wouldn't have the program. So it's thanks all around the room.
Yes, here we are, just patting ourselves on the back, right? Thank you.
Mutual Admiration Society going on here.
Yes.
But a lot of fun over at KRML.
So, Steve, you were really, I think, the person who kind of started Whale Fest.
Many, many years ago when I was at KION.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I look at how that's grown, and I look at how some of the sanctuary programs have grown, and you have been really involved with that. You really have done a lot for exploring ways to have the community learn a lot more about the ocean and the programs that are here close. And I think, when you look at it, we've got so much here that on any given day, if you just threw a little rock just not very far, you can hit so many good programs. It's really hard to know who do you promote and how do you help them. We had Veterans Cemetery on earlier today. And I mean, my heart goes out to some of the I'm going to say particularly the widows, who have ashes that have been sitting on the mantle for a long time that waited for that place to open. And now we have to figure out a way to get the ones who cannot be cremated or because of religion or culture, give them a place where they can have a final resting place. So sure. I think it's an interesting world that we're in right now.
Very, very deserving. You know, I can't really think of a group that is more deserving than those who have given their lives to keep us free in this country. And yes, when it comes to the ocean, boy, we've got a lot going on. I'm sure you knew this. This area out here, Monterey Bay, is the most researched area of the ocean in the world. At one time, we counted them. This was back in the days of Futures, I believe.
Monterey Bay Regional Futures Network.
There you go. There were 52 research institutions in the crescent, the Golden Crescent. And that's just incredible. There may be more now. I don't know. Of course, there are the big players, but there are so many little, 1 and 2 person shops that are getting things done in their own way. So it's very, very fascinating. And then I love this, the Monterey Bay Canyon, because it's so deep, enables the climate that we enjoy here to create fog and the cooling breezes that allow us to grow grapes. That ocean it does so many things for us, but it's very, very special and very near and dear to my heart.
Well, and one of the plastic surgeons here in the area told me that the 65 degrees and the ocean is the perfect climate for healing. So it's also very interesting. I think it just has all kinds of properties and opportunities for all of us. So, Steve, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't thank you enough. And, KRML and the work that you do for the community is very appreciated by all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
You are a part of YourTown. So this is YourTown. And it's important that you explore it, you understand it, and you know all the good things that are going on. We'll see you next month. I'm Marianne Leffel, your host. And don't forget, go out and try some of these places. If you haven't tried Folktail Winery, you're missing the boat. So see you next month. Thanks so much.